Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope. Thank you for allowing us to come into your listening and viewing environment. We are here with you from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time to address whatever topics you might like to discuss, whatever issues of life that you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. So for all of our listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the first time, I'm Pastor Pope, Senior Pastor of New Life Christian Center, 400 Hillcrest Avenue, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. So if you're ever in our area, we invite you to come and worship with us. We invite you to come on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. and experience a better quality of life. And if you are not in our area, of course, you can tune in on our YouTube channel at New Life Christian Center Pastor Pope, where the Sunday sermon goes live at 10:45 a.m. However, we're always here with you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. You can discuss every topic that is important to you. You can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. And so that's the reason we are here with you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, where our broadcast is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery. And you will save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com and NewLifeInternationalCDC.com, and those of you who use the QR code or the link provided on Facebook, or those of you that are now using Zelle on the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. We thank all of you for your continued support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you and address every topic that is important to you. And we want you to stay connected with us throughout the week at our internet radio station, WKAPFaith.com. We play music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Music that will encourage you, empower you, and inspire you to become the best version of ourselves that we can possibly become. So we want you to be with us always. We want to be with you always. And so we provide these venues for us to be able to stay connected with you. So I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers, thank you for tuning in and for allowing us to come into your listening and viewing environment. So I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated you are having difficulty building a successful career. You said your boss is difficult to deal with and it causes you some anxiety, and this has happened on more than one occasion. So let me help you understand something. This will continue in your life without a different approach. What you have to understand is that every employer that you have, your boss, is accountable to someone also. If you're going to have success in your career, one of the things that you're going to have to realize is that your job is not just to do the job that's assigned to you, but it's also to work for the job that you want. It's also to make your immediate director, manager, your boss. It's to make his or her job easier. That's part of the goal. For every person that reports to your boss, Their job is to make his or her job just a little bit easier. If you can do that, you're going to find that your boss will be less difficult to deal with. See, when you manage people, or you are a director in a firm or company, or you're an owner of a business, there is so much responsibility. Let me tell you what that looks like. The responsibility is that you have people depending on you to get out of bed every day and be able to have a career and be able to pay their mortgages, pay their car notes, send their kids to school. That's the responsibility of the business owner, the company you work for, the corporation you work for, your director, your manager, whoever are the executive leadership. That's the responsibility they bear every day. Now, I know there are companies and there are people who don't understand that. They are just manipulating the system, working the system, and showing up for work as a manager, director, business owner in some cases. But there's an accountability that comes with being the boss. And what that means is that you have to take on the responsibility of providing for all these people. So there's a lot of pressure on your boss. And if they're difficult to deal with, it's because the responsibility they have is difficult. It may be a huge responsibility, depending on how many people are depending on them. Your job is to make it just a little bit easier. Your coworker's job is to make it just a little bit easier. And not so that your boss can be praised, but so that your boss can continue to move the company forward. So I want to break this down for all of our listeners and viewers, because we all have careers, we all have jobs, and the goal is for everyone to have success. So we have to determine, okay, I have a job description. Let me do my job not only to the best of my ability, but let me perform at a high level. So that means I'm going to do my job that is on my job description. I'm going to take every step that's on my job description, and I'm going to work that. And then when I complete those tasks daily, I'm going to focus on the job that I desire. Meaning I'm going to do some additional work to be promoted. But I realized that I can't be promoted until my boss moves up, or there's an opportunity that will allow me to move to the next level. So you're always going to be working for the job that you want. But that requires work. That doesn't require just showing up and doing your job. You have to really look at, and I've encouraged people to do this over the years, pull the job description for the job that you want and start doing that job. Start doing pieces of that job. Start doing steps of that job. And what you're going to find is when you start doing steps of that job, that it begins to make your boss's job easier. And because it's going to make your boss's job easier, you're then going to find that you'll be less anxious because he or she won't be as difficult to deal with. You're going to find that new opportunities are going to be presented to you because you're making life easier and you're making their responsibility more effective and more efficient. That's the goal. The goal is to perform at a higher level. The goal is to be more effective and more efficient. The goal is to help make your boss more effective and efficient. The problem is that sometimes we feel that we can do a better job than the boss we have. We feel that the person who is directly over us is sometimes not very competent, We think we have better ideas. We think we can do a better job. And the reality is you will never get that opportunity without making their job easier, without pushing them forward, without helping them get elevated. You will never get that opportunity if all you do is show up and do your job. And most people, that's all they want to do. They want to do their job and they want to go home. And then they go home and they waste time. We've got to be more effective in every facet of our lives. We've got to be more efficient in every facet of our lives. We've got to, I found that there are moments when you will work smarter than harder, but there's going to be more moments when you work harder than smarter. And what I mean by that is you're going to have work to do, but you want to do it both effectively and efficiently. And different moments will require different things, but you will still get it done. And then you have the opportunity to move on to something else. And then you have the opportunity to move to a new opportunity or a new level. But we've got to realize how important it is that we maximize every hour of every day. And here's what I'm going to say to all of our listeners and viewers. Most people are not going to maximize every hour of every day. They're not. Most people are just satisfied with getting done what they want to get done. Most people are going to decide that they can do things better than the person they report to. I could do things better. I could do things differently. I got better ideas. I've got good ideas. Well, maybe you do, but pitch them to your boss. Pitch the ideas to him or her and let them move it forward. And as they move your ideas forward, they'll begin to move you forward. Don't just do enough to just get by. Don't just do enough to keep your job. Do exceeding what is expected of you. And you're going to find that you will relieve some of that anxiety, that you won't have to walk on eggshells. You will be able to maximize your career, and you will be less anxious while you do it. There's really a formula to success. It's interesting because we had a conversation today with students about success favors the prepared mind. Your mind has to be right in order to work your way to success. Your mind has to be stayed on the right purpose. And that is to maximize your success. That's to become successful and maximize your success. Some people think they're successful as long as they can keep their job. And then other people think that, I could be doing better, I'll do something different. Well, that might work briefly, but it won't create the long-term stability that we all should desire for our lives. And so I'm going to encourage you by saying that if you just do these things that we discussed today, make your boss's job a little easier, perform at a higher level, be more effective and efficient in your daily work, and you will find that your opportunity for success will increase. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees will be included in your bill if you auto-pay by attaching a credit card to your account. At T-Mobile, America's largest and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. T-Mobile is America's largest and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers, but before I do that, I just want to remind everyone this segment of the broadcast is going to be brought to you by PorscheAmerica.com. If you are in the market for a high-performance automobile, one of the finest high-performance automobiles ever manufactured, go to PorscheAmerica.com. You will have the opportunity to virtually build out the Porsche you desire to own. And if you are in the market for a high-performance automobile, one of the finest high-performance automobiles ever manufactured, and you're in our area, go to PorscheDelaware.com. Ask to speak to Mike Didio, who's the general manager, and he will have someone assist you in selecting the Porsche you desire to own. And if you are in our area and you own a Porsche and are just in need of service, go to PorscheDelaware.com. Ask to speak to Mike Adams, who's the service manager at PorscheDelaware.com. He will have someone schedule an appointment for you. They will pick up your they will pick up your automobile at your home or office, and they will provide you with the loaner car, return your vehicle to you when your service has been completed at PorscheDelaware.com. I'm looking because we're having a little difficulty with our technology right now, and I'm just trying to make certain that everything is in order. So thank you for staying with us. And I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated you are really tired of trying to deal with many personalities of people in your life. You said everyone wants to deal with you on their own terms instead of looking at the big picture. So this is very interesting because one of the things you have to remember is that everyone in your life comes before you with their own agenda, which means they're always going to put themselves before you, but they come with their own agenda. And what you're trying to get them to do, is particularly your family, you're trying to get them to look at the big picture instead of the little things that they want and the little things they want to accomplish. So you keep trying to give them the big picture. They keep telling you what they want to do. And one of the things that you are going to find necessary is to allow people to be who they are. And you're going to have to focus the big picture on what you are accomplishing and what you are working to accomplish. And the reason I put it that way is because you've accomplished some things over the years while you've watched your family remain dormant, complacent, and procrastinate. You've watched that. You've observed that. And you're trying to get them to get in a different state of mind. The reality is you're not going to get them to think differently because now they are adults who have formed their own behaviors, and you're not going to get them to think differently by trying to share with them what is possible. They're not going to see that because they are only going to focus on one item on the painting of the big picture that you've painted. They're going to focus on, I can do this if this happens. If you accomplish what you want to accomplish, I can accomplish what I want to accomplish. And that means because you're no better, I can get this done. But it's not about what you are trying to show them can be accomplished collectively, but it's about what their own agenda, what they want to accomplish individually, so that they can feel good about themselves. You know, that's the society we live in. But the reality is you're trying to take them to a bigger and better place. You're trying to get everyone to have success, and you're the example. You can be that example for them, And they may see it over time and make some changes in their lives. But right now, they're at a place in their lives where they only want to do what they want to do. That's it. They're not interested in what you demonstrated can happen over time. They're not interested in collectively accomplishing something over time. They're interested in that immediate gratification that we often talk about in this society. They're only interested in taking some selfies and doing some traveling and buying some things because, they're consumers. They're not creators, and they're not innovators. So they're only trying to consume some things and experience some travel and take some photos of themselves. Well, that's one of the problems we have in our society today. And so consequently, because of that, we are not only experiencing a wealth gap, but we're witnessing the wealth gap becoming much larger. There are literally people who are living life right now just trying to enjoy life. That's all. Not building anything for the future, not trying to create anything for the future, not focusing on, maximizing their success. Let me just have a good time right now. And let me do what I want to do right now. So they come to you on their own terms. Those are the personalities that you have to deal with. But they want to deal with you on their own terms. Just stop dealing with them. Just don't. You don't have to be the savior of all. You don't have to. Jesus is the Savior. You don't have to be their Savior. You just have to be an example. That's all you can do. But the problem is people only want to focus on what they can see. Right now. What they can see right now. This is going to take me to another communication, but this is the life that people are living right now. And it doesn't matter how young we are or how old we are, we all have the opportunity to build some success. We all have the opportunity to maximize our success. We all have the opportunity to move forward. We just have to keep working out our salvation. We just have to keep working and growing and performing at a higher level. There's so many facets, components, variables to life that we can't just look at one part of the painting, the big picture. I often use this analogy, and I'm going to take you here. I often use the analogy that people look at the Mona Lisa and they only talk about her smile. So naturally, when people look at the Mona Lisa, that's the first thing they look at. They look at her smile. Now, some people might say, well, she's not a fashion queen, but that's about as far as they're going to go. They're going to look at her smile because that's what's been talked about most in society. And they may look at what she has on and they may say, well, she's not a great dresser. Okay. But they won't look at the big picture. They won't consider, what did Leonardo da Vinci see when he was painting the Mona Lisa? Why did he use the color scheme that he used? What was his thought process when he was painting this woman? Why did he even decide that she was the right subject for this painting? They don't look at any of that. They only look at, because we've all heard about the Mona Lisa smile. There might be some people that look at her eyes. There might be some people that look at her fashion, but they're not going to get past those three moments in time. Most people won't even make it there. because they can't see the big picture. They can only see what they're looking for. And that's the problem with people who come into our lives for a reason or a season, and they're not there for a lifetime, because over the course of the lifetime, they will see the results. But we have a short attention span in our society today. So I will encourage you, if people want to deal with you on their own terms, start dealing with them on your own terms. And you'll find that you'll have a whole lot more peace. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall, King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you are in any of those areas, stop in at the retail store. They have everything that a man could possibly need. They have suits for men, ties for men, shirts for men, and accessories. If you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. And right now you can order 3 fine, high-quality cotton shirts for $99. 3 high-quality cotton shirts from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com for $99. And The White Company, located in London, the UK. They also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York. So if you're in New York, stop in at their retail store. They have everything you could possibly need. Home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. And if you're not in New York, you can order from The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They too will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address another communication. It came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated you are really concerned about the life of your adult children who are living in these millennial times. You said, however, they are giving no thought towards the future, and you want to know how you can help them be more focused, future focused. So here's the thing. I'm going to give you a short version, and then I'm going to walk us through the rest of this. Give your children the tools to be successful. Teach them what they need to know to be successful. And then pray. And the reason I'm saying that is because they're going to do what they want to do. But the more you give them tools, they may never take them out of the toolbox except one at a time. But the more you give them tools, like, you talk to them about their career. You talk to them about building wealth. You talk to them about, home ownership. You talk to them about the stock market. You talk to them about entrepreneurship. You talk to them about all these things. It will give them tools in their toolbox to build a life for themselves, to build a great quality of life. Then you got to pray that they're going to develop their own relationship with the Lord, and that they will then decide to walk the path that God has placed before them. Now, I hear so many young people say, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do with my life. This is how I want to live my life. The reason they say that is because they don't understand. They don't understand the importance of being focused on the future. They only understand living for today. And we live in the present. We build for the future. But I find that there are cultural differences to living life. And one of the things that we have to do a better job of as a society is kind of getting people to understand that success is success. There's no different formula for success. We work hard, we work smart, we work effectively, we work efficiently. We have faith in what God wants to do in our lives. We walk by that faith. We don't pay attention to what's going on around us in society. We stay aware and informed, but we don't get caught up in the traps of every societal disruption. we stay on course, we stay focused, and we trust God to do exceeding abundantly above all that we can ask or think. Today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast 3D has been brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. May God bless you today. May God keep his face turned towards you. May God give you peace that surpasses all understanding. Remember, we are at New Life Christian Center, 400 Hillcrest Avenue, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809, every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. And if you know anyone that is in need of food, have them contact us on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We have a food pantry and